Carolina Insider is presented by Wells Fargo.
We have more interviews coming up here on the Carolina Insider, and the next group of gentlemen all have different levels of relationships with Carolina basketball. Jeff Lebo was a terrific player in the Dean Smith era in the mid to late 1980s. Coach Lebo has gone on to a long career in coaching and returns to the bench in Chapel Hill. Brad Frederick was a member of two Final Four teams in Chapel Hill in 1997 and 1998. After his playing career was finished, Coach Frederick has been on benches in Vanderbilt and at Carolina. We'll talk to him about that. And then Eric Hoots. Eric did not play at Carolina. He was a manager for Carolina basketball and has been heavily involved in multiple areas, as you'll hear. So let's get to our conversations with Brad Frederick, Jeff Lebo, and Eric Hoots. A member of two Final Four teams as a player in Chapel Hill and a member of the Carolina basketball staff, Brad Frederick, joining us here. Brad, it has been a busy couple of weeks. Take us through what's been going on and just all the changes around Carolina basketball.
Sure, yeah, it's been a wild couple of weeks. You know, obviously everyone knew that at some point Coach Williams would walk away. You just didn't expect to be that day, you know, and so when he told us, obviously we were all stunned, and then began the process of trying to figure out who the next coach would be. And so for me personally, I knew that I hoped that Hubert Davis would have the opportunity. I've been privileged to be with him for the last 8 years, sit next to him on the bench, have an office next to him, and just see his passion for Carolina. And so when I had an opportunity to express my thoughts to Bubba, I said, you know, I think there's no better guy than Hubert to lead this program going forward. So we just dealt with the whirlwind. Obviously, you know, as you go through a coaching search and our current players, the biggest thing we tried to do is reassure them that no matter what happened, we were going to get a great coach at Carolina.
Coach, take us through the last couple of weeks for you and just what this process has been like.
Well, it's been an emotional roller coaster in a lot of areas. You know, obviously starting back with Coach Williams and finding out that he's stepping down, and then the process between there and then Coach Davis getting the job, and then a few days later, I was power washing my porch in Morehead City, and Hubert calls me, and I said, Hubert, what do you want? Because I'm power washing my deck. And he said, well, I need you to stop for a second. So it's been a whirlwind, and it's just an exciting time for me to be able to come back the place that I love so much, and to be able to coach here with Coach Davis, who is just a guy that I've really enjoyed getting to know over the past years. Obviously played with him, but just to be back and be part and be by his side with his great staff.
So of course you've been in the coaching profession for a long time, head coach at multiple stops, including Auburn, East Carolina, Tennessee Tech. What can you bring to this staff, and how can you use some of that past experience to help this staff?
Well, I want to serve any way that they want me to. Whatever Coach Davis needs me to do, I hope I can provide. I've been in this business my whole life. I've been a head coach for 20 years. I've had a lot of different experiences, and that's move from that assistant seat to the head coaching seat is a big one. And I've sat in that seat. I made that move. I want to be able to help in any way that he sees that I can serve him the best, and to be on this staff too, to even help, you know, some of the younger coaches and to learn from them too. I mean, I'm a basketball junkie. I love to learn. I love to change. I love to do different things. I love to study the game. And there are things that hopefully I can bring to Coach Davis and the staff.
So Eric, for folks who don't know you or don't know what your role is, explain a little bit what it is that you do for Carolina.
Sure. I think the easiest way to describe it, Jones, is I handle everything off the court. I do whatever I can behind the scenes to make life easier for all the coaches, whether that be I manage the Nike account, I'm the academic liaison to work with Jen Townsend up on campus, I work with our housing, I handle all the travel, the hotels and the buses on the road, and then a big part, and probably my favorite part, is continue the communication with our former players and making sure that they still feel a part of the family, and if they need anything, they call me and go through me. But the easiest way to say is I handle as much as I can off the court, so the coaches recruit and coach and win games, and that's what we try to do.
I have to imagine you heard from a lot of former players here over the last couple of weeks. What was those conversations like? What was their input like when there was going to be a transition at the head coaching spot?
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, just it was a big roller coaster of emotions. I mean, that first morning when Coach Williams told us that he was retiring and he asked me to call a large group of former players, the first few I couldn't get out. I called Tyler Hansbrough, and I was very emotional. And you just think about, that's what this place is about, is the relationships that you build and that you have, and that everyone cares so much about this place, and everybody cares about the people. And so that was really tough. But then as it got, as the process went on, and talking to all the guys that, applied for the job, and then guys who wanted their input, it was great. And that's what makes this place special, is that everyone does care and everyone wants us to be successful. So it was great to feel that support from all of